Thank you, Mr. Dowell, for those cordial welcome remarks and also for putting the theme of this summit in a nutshell for all present. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Shri Ashishkumar Chauhan, MD&CEO, BSE, the first stock exchange of Asia. Mr. Chauhan is one of the founders of India's national stock exchange, the NSE, best known as the father of modern financial derivatives in India. He was instrumental in setting up India's first fully automated screen-based trading system and first commercial satellite communications network. He has also created several path-breaking frameworks, including Nifty Index, NSE certifications in financial markets, etc. He is a graduate from IIT Bombay. With those words, I would request Shri Ashishkumar Chauhan, MD CEO BSE, for the welcome remarks on behalf of BSE. Sir.
Shri Suresh Prabhu, Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Jayant Sinha, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, Shri Shaurya Dawal, Director, India Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the iconic International Convention Hall of BSE. This hall has witnessed the development of the Indian economy over past 143 years. First as a trading ring for the brokers and then as a convention hall post-digitization of BSE in 1995. On behalf of BSE, I would like to wholeheartedly express my deepest appreciation and profound gratitude to Shri Suresh Prabhu, Shri Jayant Sinha, Shri Shaurya Dawal, and all of you for being with us today. It is indeed our privilege to have you here, sir, at BSE for your interaction with industry, members of BSE, students, and everyone else who are present here. It gives me immense pleasure to address the Indian Economic Summit 2018, which focuses on a new economy for new India. This gathering is a useful platform to come together to exchange views and share experience on the current state and future of our economy. India has undergone a systemic shift from virtually closed economy to a more open economy with greater reliance on market forces, a larger role for the private sector, and a restructuring of the role of the government. We all have witnessed historic economic policy developments and structural reforms in the last 2-3 years. The macroeconomic fundamentals of the economy are strong and are characterized by low inflation, low current account deficits, high forex reserves, and commitment to fiscal prudence. In the last quarter, India has become the fastest growing large economy in the world once again. Next few years to come, it looks as if India will continue to grow at a faster pace than most of the large economies. The government has unleashed unprecedented reforms in various spheres. GST has been the biggest reform measure in decades, vast in scope and unparalleled in scale. This has also been preceded by a dedicated campaign against corruption and black money. Reforms in foreign direct investments have eased the FDI caps in key areas like railways, defense, insurance, real estate, and many more. Under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, the government has brought in and continues to bring in reforms to simplify laws and regulations to make them easy, convenient, and transparent. The passage of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act is a notable one. The recent enactment of a comprehensive legislation relating to insolvency of corporates, firms, and individuals has been a much-awaited move. Under the aegis of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Mudra has created products and schemes which provide funding to women and new entrepreneurs. The interventions have been named Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun to signify the stage of growth, development, and funding needs of the beneficial micro-unit entrepreneurs and also provide a reference point for the next phase of graduation. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana and the related Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobile trinity has linked all Indians into one common financial, economic, and digital space. This is nothing short of a social revolution. Implementation of this would lead to soft infrastructure, which is world-leading. And for me, no other country boasts of this kind of soft infrastructure. India has become the leader in soft infrastructure, including UPI for digital and BHIM transactions, India Stack, and so on and so forth. Even RERA has been brought to force. The results are all of us to see. According to IMF's World Economic Outlook update, India's growth is projected to accelerate to 7.7% in 2018-19 from 7.2% forecast for the 2017-18. With the expected growth, India is poised to become a US $10 trillion economy by 2025, as famously said by Suresh Prabhu in one of his speeches 2 weeks back. India is now among the top 100 countries in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business rankings. In a short span of 3 years, we have jumped 42 ranks. In addition, India has also moved up 32 places in the last 2 years in Global Competitiveness Index of World Economic Forum, 21 places on Global Innovation Index of WIPO in 2 years, 19 places on the Logistics Performance Index of 2016 of World Bank. Today, India is also among the top FDI destinations listed by UNCTAD. Underpinning these developments is Prime Minister's mantra of reform, perform and transform. India is poised to emerge as an economic superpower driven in part by its young population, while China and other Asian tigers age rapidly. The number of people aged 65 and over in Asia will climb from 365 billion today to more than 500 million in 2027, account for 60% of the age group globally by 2030. In contrast, India will drive the third great wave of Asia's growth, following Japan and China, with a potential workforce expected to bulge across 15 to 64 age bracket and climb from 885 million to 1.08 billion people in the next 20 years and hold above that for half a century. Also in this period, India is poised to become the world's youngest country with an average age of 29 years and account for around 28% of world's workforce. With around 64% of India's population expected to be in the range, a bracket of 15 to 59 years by 2026, and only 13% of its workforce aged above 60, they will constitute one of the largest pool of consumers in the world. On an average, 15 million youth will join the workforce every year for the next 20 years, which gives India a unique competitive advantage, but would also be its biggest threat if India fails to create opportunities for its youth population. The two main issues of this concern for the transition of India from a developing to developed country are poverty and unemployment. The only way to alleviate them is by creating opportunities. Breakthroughs in technologies, which were occurring at an interval of decades, are now a phenomenon every few years. The technology waves are coming faster and faster. Billions of people and countless machines are connected to each other through groundbreaking technology, unprecedented processing power and speed. Automation, machine learning, mobile computing, artificial intelligence, these are no longer futuristic concepts, they are our reality. Previous industrial revolutions have shown us that if companies and industries don't adapt with new technology, they struggle. Worse, they fail. But I strongly believe that these innovations will make industry and the world stronger and better and provide a great opportunity to India. The change brought by the fourth industrial revolution is inevitable, not optional, and the possible rewards are staggering. Heightened standards of living, enhanced safety and security, and greatly increased human capacity. List of transformation technologies include mobile, cloud, digital payments, Internet of Things, 3D printing, blockchain, artificial intelligence, digital identity, intelligent transportation and distribution, advanced geographic information systems, and many more, some of which India is a leader. India needs to create more jobs, India needs more entrepreneurs, and we need to remove barriers for entrepreneurs. In the words of Honorable Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley, promotion of entrepreneurship and startup companies remain a challenge. He was clearly hinting at lack of funding and backing up those armed with innovative ideas with the right guidance and mentoring, in addition to finance. While it is not possible for the government to create jobs for such a huge number of people, it is possible that the government makes it easier for private sector to create jobs. The entrepreneurial ecosystem in India is the third largest and the fastest growing ecosystem in the world, as per the World Economic Forum in 2014. India ranked third largest entrepreneurial ecosystem in the world with 26,000 plus startups. The number of new companies formed has been steadily increasing in the recent past, with an unprecedented 10,000 companies getting created in 2015 alone and many more later on. The funding picture also looks upbeat, with Indian startups raising over $10 billion in 2015. Tax benefits in the budget for SMEs put the focus on reducing stress on account of micro, small and medium enterprises. A slew of measures was promoted to relieve the tax burden on SMEs and ensure easy funding for them. The government has cut the corporate income tax rate to 25% from the existing 30% for companies with annual turnover up to 250 crore rupees. With the economy doing so well, capital markets can't stay far behind. The market capitalization of BSE listed companies has crossed $2.4 trillion. The S&P BSE Sensex has grown by more than 28% in 2017 alone, with Indian equity markets among the best performing markets in the entire world. A net FPI-FII investment is approximately $30 billion in both equity and debt so far in the financial year 2018. The Prime Minister has emphasized that the transformation that India needs across infrastructure, urban transport, smart cities, water and healthcare must be driven by innovative solutions. While agencies have estimated varying amount of money required in infrastructure, build-out, and one aspect is common, funding of a large magnitude. When the economy grows at this rate, it's only natural that there is a huge pressure on infrastructure. Even though India has been building infrastructure, it has not kept pace with demand, resulting in huge productivity losses. It is estimated that India will require more than $2 trillion for improving infrastructure over the next 7 to 10 years. This means Indian infrastructure will require more than $200 billion per annum for next 10 years. Similarly, for other industries and services companies, additional $50 billion per annum requires to be raised. In effect, we need to raise $250 billion per annum from banking and financial sector. Wealth of a nation cannot be built only on speculative short-term trading activities. The nation will have to learn to harness its savings into productive capital. That is not a zero-sum game, but increases over time as the economy grows. BSE has played and continues to play a vital role in mitigating challenges faced by entrepreneurs and has been an active promoter of entrepreneurship. Today, BSE is not only the world's largest exchange in terms of companies listed, it is also the fastest exchange in the world. Now with less than 6 microseconds response time, its technology is better than the best in the world. The story of BSE is the story of Indian economy. With a 143 years old history, BSE is one of the oldest working public institutions in India, having created wealth to the tune of more than $2.4 trillion. If we consider debt issues listed on BSE, additional $400 to $600 billion could be added. Transfer from SME to large cap companies has also added more than 25,000 crore into this kitty. For instance, in 2016-17 alone, Indian corporates raised debt of $65 billion. Earlier, the banks were the primary focus for raising funds for the corporates. Now, the markets have taken that place. Enabling equity resource mobilization for SMEs, BSE has already raised funds for more than 240 companies. BSE has also set up an incubator on 18th floor of this building. When you get time tomorrow, you might like to visit. Young and budding entrepreneurs, more than 150 companies have been funded using this initiative, out of which more than 40 have received funding to the tune of $35 million. Another initiative of our incubator, Zone Startup, is Empower, India's first tech accelerator for women entrepreneurs, which was supported by Department of Science and Technology, Google, Vodafone, GIZ, and Nishit Desai Associates. In conclusion, India is today one of the most vibrant economies in the world on the back of robust capital markets, banking, and insurance sectors. The country's economy is changing rapidly and is on the right course to achieve high growth. India can become rich before it becomes old. Current government's historic economic policy developments and structural reforms are helping to expedite India's all-round economic development. I am sure with all this economic development and structural reforms, India will continue to grow faster in the near future. The initiative taken by the government provides us a unique opportunity to take India forward. India's time has come, and BSE is committed to offering innovative solutions for challenges facing the country and to contribute to the development paradigm that takes India to the top of global rankings. With this, I once again thank Shri Suresh Prabhu, Shri Jayant Sinha, Shri Shaurya Dawal, and the distinguished assemblage in this event for their august presence amongst us on this historic occasion. Thank you very much.